Alright, hello there everyone, this is Soul717 here, and I'm here for as usual. I did not own the picture to make this thumbnail, but I made the thumbnail, so yes, as you heard this, reading this correctly, this is a what if Deku became Spawn. And I don't mean like Al Simmons Spawn, I mean like, he literally becomes a Hell Spawn, and that's why they call him Spawn. So, here's the thing. This is gonna be a very, well, I don't really know much about the comics, but I'm gonna look up characters from the comics, and maybe even from the animated TV series. So yeah, and I only know a little bit about it, so here's what's about this what if. So, if you have read the comics, then you all know what happened to Al Simmons, and him trapping Satan and God, basically, in a, after he, basically in their own Earth realm, and he created his, his own, creating an, Earth and the universe again as he remembered it, without God and Satan. So instead of, I forgot to mention, I'm at work. So instead of basically closing the portals, the All-Mother that created everything, this, he told her, after he found out the truth of what he did, that happened, he does keep the power to, he found that truth, he decides then to repent by controlling, what should I say, being in a heaven and a hell as their, as God and Satan, basically, since he's been judge, jury, executioner so long, he's, always protecting the innocent, that sort of thing. And plus, he'd rather be the one in control just in case, Satan and God come back to try to, take their world back. Well, take everything back. So yeah. So the demon Malbujo, I think that's how you say his name, basically is alive still. Well, he's alive again because I need him alive, and he's just alive for plot reasons. Plus, he needs hell spawns, so he basically spawned or Al Simmons just tell him, I resurrected you from the dead just to help me out, make an army. Alright? He goes, sure, Spawn. He's like, I'm the king here, don't ever F with me. Alright? He's like, yeah. Alright, yes, my lord. And which Malbujo's like, dumb brat. And all that. But over the years, Al Simmons being God and Satan, he has gone to Earth every 20 years for 2 months just to go on his, heroics. Doing his, same thing. Killing murderers, psychopaths, arsonists, basically the R word and other things. Anything that, has anyone done a crime to hurt an innocent person, besides, taxes and all that, jokes aside, to basically have blood of the innocents on their hand, he has killed. But for 20 years. And this goes on for many, many years. So, we start our story, and this is what if Deku became Spawn. So, how we started is like always. Deku's quirkless. He finds out. He gets bullied by Bakugo. But in this one, his bullying has grown exponentially worse. He has basically became, Deku has become equivalent, to basically a nothingness to Bakugo. He does not care if he really dies. That's what Bakugo thinks, or, that's what everyone thinks, but Bakugo just thinks Deku was useless, and him saying, I want to become a hero, he's trying to drive that point into him, and he can't without power, without quirk. So, what happens to Deku over his lifespan? Bullying gets rougher and more brutal. He has nearly died multiple times. And yes, there is a freaking female version of Death. Well, Death has no gender, but you know, just basically the manifestation of something. But you know, the Death in this one, since God, God's in All Mother, lineage and all that. So let's say Death has a form. It's a female, and plus she can even create a humanoid, not humanoid. I mean a human version of herself. Say like every so many centuries or so, she can create a living version of her, like like alive, an actual human being who's alive but is her. She is going to be a part of Class 1A, which is, I'm not going to say who, but Kamala Woods is also going to be a part of Class 1A as a student. So yes, you're all going to be wondering who it is. I'm not going to say. But anyways, so, Deku, he's met her multiple times. He's always coming back. He has panic attacks even when he's sleeping. Organ's not working right, basically. But this is the day 3 months before the day of the anime. So, Deku's just walking home with just putting his head down. Because everyone at school, didn't care what Bakugo did to him or even said. And what it is just saying Bakugo basically kneed him in the stomach and just threw him to a wall. He was bleeding a little. The nurse did help him. She really did feel bad for Deku. So yeah. So though, Bakugo, and his goons were following him. His goons rushed over to Deku because there is a alleyway that no one will notice, and no one can ever hear him because there's like a bunch of noise coming from it. So what happens is, Bakugo, his friend, his goons basically drag him in there, and Deku's going, Kachan, please, don't, just let me go home, please, stop. He goes, oh, Deku, come on. I mean, I had to get back at you for looking down on me. He's like, what do you mean? He was like, basically he goes, oh, that look in your eye every time you look at me after I hurt you. It's like you're always disappointed in me. Like you think I'm a monster. It's not my fault you're quirkless. It's not my fault you're weak and pathetic. So, how about I show you how it's really done and being a hero with, or should I say, how really nasty I can get to you. As then Bakugo proceeds to beat him with his fist, with his bare fist, but also his explosions are happening, which he just found out from beating up Deku. In which he says, thanks to you, I learned a new move. I call this explosion fist. Die, Deku, die! As he just keeps hitting Deku, and his goons are just watching. Basically, he's explosion marks on the face, his sides, basically even his stomach. Heck, Bakugo was even able to use it on his feet. Well, not on his feet. Basically, just like, I was gonna do it on his feet, but now I'm gonna do that later. But yeah, so Bakugo by punching him in the stomach, and the force in it, it's a lot. Even it's compressed explosions into one thing. So Bakugo doesn't know this, but he's doing multiple damages to Izuku that's killing him. So after they're done beating him for 30 minutes of this straight, they all just laugh, and just Bakugo tells him, how about you die or jump off, die there, just jump off the roof of the school building and get a quirk in the next life. And boom, they leave. And something happens. This is the day where Al Simmons would have came in. It's his first day back on Earth after 20 years. He goes, man, corrupt society has become even more corrupted. I have to do this. I have to basically clean it as much as I can before I go back to heaven and rule hell too. The paperwork. Yes, there's some paperwork he has to do, and listen to the prayers and such. So yeah. So what happens is he does see Bakugo and his goons leaving the alleyway, and he hears a soul crying. I was gonna make it like Deku would have had a quirk from his great grandfather would have been a ghost-like quirk where he can use energy, but it's like he's a spiritual projection that can use his energy like Danny Phantom. But I'm scratching that. Well, actually, no. I mean, I don't really need to, but hey, I'm just not going to use that for right now. So yeah. So, you know, I'm gonna say, I want to say his name, but I'm thinking of Alex Mercer, and I don't know why. Hold on. Alright, so Simmons, or Al Simmons, basically walks over to this, and he's in his, he's in the wings. He's became divine spawn. But, now he's became God. And Satan. So he, can turn into Hellspawn form, which is the devil form, because with horns and everything. Or, Angel Wings is divine spawn, which is God form. So yeah, so basically he goes over to Izuku just with no wings or cloak or anything. Just the suit and the, V on it. The body form and everything from the symbiote. So he hears this kid crying, and he basically gets to the body. And shocking enough, it's just a kid. Today, as he just says, why did they kill me? Just because I'm quirkless? Why me? As he can feel this kid's rage, his hatred towards this, and he goes, I just wanted to be a hero. Just because I'm quirkless, everyone had to make fun of me. And it's, for some reason, this rage is radiating off of him, coming off him like it's a beacon to negative emotions that, Spawn does not need to feed on, but if it keeps going, this kid may lose himself. So, Al says to him, kid, calm down already. And Izuku just says, calm down, I'm dead. I can't go back, I can't have a life, I can't see my mom, who's gonna wonder who killed me, and then she finds out it's that effing jerk should have been my best friend, but as soon as he gets a quirk, he leaves me behind. Basically. He let in all his emotions run wild basically. As, Al needs to, goes to him and goes to a knee and, well, pats his head and hugs him then afterwards. He goes, look, kid, life is not fair. I don't know what happened to you, but, well, maybe I can help you get back to living. He's like, what? How? He goes, it's not gonna be good, kid. You're gonna have to become something I became once. But there's a catch with this deal. And he goes, wait, what? He goes, you're not going to be, how can I say this right? You're going to be like me. You don't not listen to heaven or hell. You do what you want and what you think is right. Basically, how can I say this right? You're going to become a hell spawn. And you're going to go through trials that are going to be, well, hold on. Trials that you will never know about. Basically, you may go through my path, but since you never a killer, you won't, go down that path I went. So, yeah. Anyways, take my hand, kid, and we're gonna go see a old acquaintance of mine. Which Izuku nods and he does. He takes Al Simmons' hand. And they go to hell. He says, Mabujo. Mabujo. And, he comes out. Izuku sees this demon, grotesque monster in front of him. But he's not scared. How can he be? This is like, well, it's not even scary to him at all, which shocks Al and Mabujo. So he just says, so you're a demon, huh? Well, at least you're exactly what I thought. Big and ugly. Which Al's kind of just slapping his head. Mabujo just says he's just like this kid. I mean, he's just like Al Mercer. Well, yeah. Not Al Mercer. Ugh. Freak. Al Simmons. So yeah, anyways. If I've been saying Mercer, sorry. It's just, I don't know why my brain just going off. I have not getting enough sleep today. So, my apologies. So yeah. So, I mean, he just says this is like Al Simmons. How's he looking at him? He goes like, he's just like you. Irritating and annoying. And, Al just says, whatever. So, here's the thing. As, everyone Deku can see these hell spawns around him. And he just basically says, made the kid a hell spawn. But here's the thing. Did like when you don't control him. You do it like you did with me. You give him the suit with so many souls in it that you can't control. And, well, he chooses his path. And then, well, Mabujo just says, actually, I am getting kind of annoyed with everything else. So why not? I don't really mind doing that. Also, kid, why are you not surprised you're here? Like, seriously. Even Al was wondering. He was like, well, after dying so many times and then coming back to life, well, nearly dying, coming back to life and everything, it's like nothing really matters to me. Which they like, huh? He was, both of them say it, and, well, even the fat clown, hearing this, he was like, what? A kid actually dying multiple times? I mean, why was I not told? I could have directed Soul here then. And, well, he just says, and then you just talk to Lady Death a lot and everything else. It's just, As Al just says, you talk to Lady Death. How many times? Ever since I was 8 to now, a long time. We're friends. As, she appears, she appears, like, walking right behind, Al, and then, like, Mabujo's like, Simmons, look behind you. As then she goes, there you are, Zuko. I've been looking for you. Well, this is a fine turn of events, and then you come here. He goes, I'm given a chance at life again. He just says to her, she's like, oh, that's good, because I was going to bring you back anyways. And at least heal your wounds, so that way you won't die again. And basically, Al just looks at her and goes like, so wait, you and the kid have been talking all this time, like friendly talk. She nods, and then Deku just says, she's not that bad when you get to know her. Seriously, I don't know why everyone's afraid of her. And this just shocks everyone. They just are shocked. They're shook. And, well, Mabujo turns small, goes up to Izuku, puts both hands on his head, and looks into his eyes and gains all of his memories, in which even Mabujo is saying, I may be a demon, but that is just horrible. Humans. God. Jeez, kid. Yeah, you're definitely getting this. I'm not controlling you, but this thing is gonna be way overpowered. He's like, huh? What do you mean? So you're like, well, here's the thing. We're basically gonna give you a symbiote. Well, not really. It's a symbiote because it has its own consciousness. But it's basically like my suit. You're gonna have to feed on, well, negative emotions of anywhere, animals, bugs, basically anything that has ever killed someone or made a sin and stuff. You're gonna have to uh, feed on their negativity and make yourself stronger to replenish your energy. But with you, it's like we don't really think you need to do that. So, yeah. And the only thing that can kill you is holy weapons. And a chop off your head. Which Deku would just say, noted. Alright, what, anything else? He was like, basically, should I tell him or should you? He's like, okay. So basically, the normal premise of this would be is you burn into hellfire, you get stronger, and then you go back 5 years later. But since Al's here, that ain't gonna happen. He's like, okay. So how long will I, like, what's the equivalent to here being there? And then he goes, alright, so here's the thing. Since Al's here, aka the ruler of this place, a year here for you will be just 1 day there. Alright? I mean, it's gonna be like a couple hours since they're gonna find your body and all, but you know. So what you say, kid? Deal? You know, as you know, basically, Al just says this is only a one-lifetime deal, so you better take it, because if you don't, she's gonna bring you back and you're not having any power. So, at least you'll have power. And then you have to kill people too. He's like, huh? Wait, I have to kill people? It's like, yeah. Sorry about that, kid. People are gonna come after you and try to kill you. I mean, angels are going to, even if I tell them not to, they're gonna want you dead. So, yeah. Sorry. He goes, cool. I don't really mind. Yeah, I'll take the deal. Which Al was like, wait, what? You're okay with killing people? He's like, I've been bullied all my life to the point where I have died multiple times because of them. Do you really think I care? No. I'll take your deal, Mambujo. By the way, I'm having trouble saying his name. I don't know if it's Albujo. I mean, I know it's Malbujo, but it's like kind of hard to say. So, yeah. I did look up some stuff on the comics, and the name just sounds like Malbujo to me, so, yeah. I'm sorry. To any Spawn fans, sorry about that. I'll fix that in the next part, but yeah. So, he does get the suit. He gets the symbiote suit. The Spawn suit. I'm just gonna call it. But it is, since they made a stronger version of Al's suit, way stronger than his, basically being more souls than Al could have. So yeah, in his, basically part of him. So, alright, I just need to check my time here. I'm so good to keep going for a little bit. So yeah, so basically he gets a suit on. He trains with, Al for many, many years in magic. His, actual suits, chains, cape, everything's about his imagination. So, Izuku, since he's a quirk fanatic, he has analyzed quirks and all that, he has a whole bunch of imagination of what he can do. So Al and Mabujo and everyone in hell never even knew a Hellspawn could just do this. He basically controlled the flames of hell, turned it into a dragon, then put actual ice spikes on it that was like an armor and such, and then have it breathe something that would make that fire actually cold, in which that shocked everyone. Heck, he just changed everything to be the way he wanted it to be. He even created his own weapons, axe, knives, daggers, swords, whatever he could think of. But quirk-wise, he's basically able to use, fire, breathe fire, shoots ice, use the cape to basically grab one of the things, and it turns it into like electric shock. Like, basically, Zuko basically learned from a hitman / assassin. You're gonna learn a lot. The only thing though is Zuko, he has also learned gunfire, but he's more like an up close combat knife wielding sword person. Anything to do with guns, where he can have a chance to do non-lethal. Yeah, yeah. And well, he fought different hellspawns. He killed them, and the thing is though, he has not been, in the hell flames, even around him. Basically, Al made sure no hell flames would be near him, so that way the suit, well, he has his own power. But when he actually kills another, well, he's gonna kill a demon. the clown, basically, as a trial. So he's, to test him. That's what Al's telling him. So, in the middle of this year, in this training, he says, "Alright, so here's the thing. See this clown? He's called the Violator. You're going to fight him and kill him." Basically, what's happening is, when you do, you'll basically kill him, and hell flames will go on you, making your suit a lot stronger. Alright, but for now, focus on your physical strength. And everything else, and well, we'll be good. Plus your imagination's very, very crazy, kid. So, yeah. So, and plus, Al did tell him about he can absorb, the city's negativity and other animals, people, anything. Even the souls of the evil people that you kill. To fuel the suit. And so after the year's over, Al tells him to say bye to Nabujo, and if he needs him again, So, he does tell Deku to walk though forward, as Nabujo does say, "Can he handle them?" He goes, "Yeah, the kid has good potential. He may be able to help, keep them at bay from trying to get your little seat." Yeah, the new people, plus that all-for one guy. He doesn't want to die, and I need him dead. And those demons are trying to take my little title. Which, Al says, "Yeah, I get it." Anyways, see you around. He leaves with Deku. He brings Deku back to the world of the living, but with his spawn suit off. His spawn suit turned into a jacket, basically. In which he goes, "Thanks, Al. Will I ever see you again?" He goes, "Of course, kid. I'm everywhere. You'll be seeing me for the next 2 months." So, well, actually, these next month and something days. He's like, "Fine. I'll see you then after that, I'll see you in 20 years. He goes, "Yeah, heaven's gonna eat me." Basically, made me hear an earful of it, but hey, it's my choice. Go get them, kid. As basically, he touches Izuku, and he goes back into his body. But during this time, they went back to the alleyway that Izuku was. They noticed, the cops were there and everything. So the reporters are saying that someone found a boy with green hair, freckles, and green eyes on the ground, not breathing. He died. They don't know how. Well, they know how, but they don't know when. Until, autopsy was given. Until the police were with paramedics, they found multiple explosions on the boy's body, and saying that the boy had multiple fractures in his face. Organs look like they may have ruptured because of the explosions and such, and that he could be severely injured to the point where he died painful death. Whoever did this is a heartless person that deserves the most harshest judgments. And then, like, all of a sudden, paramedics are coming in with the person, like, wait a minute, what's happening? As basically a cop goes like, the kid's living still. We just pronounced him dead, and yet he came back to life. I don't know how that's possible, but this kid's freaking like crazy. Whoever this whoever this kid's mom is, you got one brave and crazy kid, and runs back in with the helping out the paramedics. Bakugo, though, his mind, his mentality is so broken. It's like he needs, which Mitsuki hears him screaming when, they pronounced him dead, and descriptions on how he could have multiple ruptures of, body, organs and such. It was just like, he screamed out in agony. Basically, he killed someone, and then when they heard him saying, the cop saying he's alive, Inko was upset, but now she's just crying tears of joy that her son is, back. They're rushing him and everything. They don't know that Izuku is, basically, his body is already healed with just the internal organs and the injuries to his face. It's just, a little bit of bruising and such now, with a little, scars on his, body and arms, like even like a little bit on his face. But that's it. So basically, the scarring's like right over his left eye. One goes like a little bit across it, so looks like it goes across. And I wanted to say, I wanted to say that it was gonna like leave him blind in one eye, but no. So what happens is, Izuku basically gets to the hospital. He gets all checked out. They're amazed on how there wasn't much injury, but from the reports he goes, I guess I just had a guardian angel or something. Which Inko rushes in, and she's hugging him and such, which she realizes the burn marks are from a fist. Only with the explosion marks though is only from one person, which she's about to call up Mitsuki and tell her off. Because she needed to confirm it was Bakugo, which, seeing as Izuku it is, a confirmation. He just tells her it's not worth it. Don't ruin a friendship because of her son. The Jack deserves it. Deserves whatever he gets now. Which she's like, Izuku, you never curse. He's like, I'm 13 years old. I'm turning 14 soon. I'm allowed to curse, Mom. I ain't a cinnamon roll, nor am I a precious crybaby. I've been sick and tired of his bullying me, and the only reason why is I never told you because I didn't want to worry you, because of, what happened with Dad. And this one, Hasashi left them because of Izuku being quirkless. He said he didn't want to be a burden. As well, the doctor does say they have to do some tests on him to make sure everything's right, in which Inko says, alright, so basically what happens is, when they're doing tests, they find something unusual in Zuko's body, around him and underneath his skin. And they tell Inko this, she doesn't know what's happening. And so, after they ask Izuku to try to bring out whatever it is, it's this suit. It's this way. But instead of green, it's more like it's blue eyes and blue energy coming off of him a little bit. But it's not like holy flames or anything. It's just he wanted to change himself from Al. So, Al said he's allowed to, boom, make the color change. And it's, the energy and how it is. Still be green flames and all that, but just, the eyes are blue. And, yeah. Which Inko and the doctor are surprised. And he goes, nice. No wonder why I felt different. And she goes, as in, the doctor says, a mutation quirk, a symbiote, a living entity on you. He goes, yeah, I've figure that much. Anyways, I have a feeling I'm sounding like someone else's What If character, but whatever. I mean, I'm gonna be changing him. He's just acting calm, and he's on, he's on the equivalent to not feel. He does feel pain, but he's on the medication to not feel pain. So it's like painkillers, but he's also like, yeah, basically. So he's like a little bit like in and out, kind of. I mean, like he can speak normal, but he sounds totally different sort of way. So yeah. So Inko just says, I don't know how it happened. He goes, who knows? Maybe I had to die to get this. Maybe I was just born with this and no one could have, seen it because it was still in development. Maybe it's like all my negative emotions combined into one and turned into this. Who knows? Which the doctor says that could happen. If you were, being bullied because everyone thought you were quirkless, then yes, this, and plus your quirk was this, then negative emotions is the key to this. So you may, be strong to, goes, yeah, I figured I'm gonna have to, if I want to use this power, I'm gonna have to, well, feed on people's negativity. And by the way, in this one, he will not. The only way he can die is by holy weapons or decapitation, not by running out of energy. Because Al did resurrect him with the suit and everything, with his soul. He's technically dead and alive as one at the same time, but not when he is a hellspawn. Just that's the only way he can kill him because his body, because his energy will be naturally replenished over time because of his own negative emotions that it's deep down inside of him. He does have insecurities that lead to negative emotions. So yes, that's what I mean by he will not die because he has an endless supply of his own negative emotions that he can use. So, after all that happens, they registered it as a mutation quirk, and Izuku and his mom leave. In which they go to home, and Izuku eats. She's just happy her son's okay. She asks what happened to him. He goes, Bakugo bullying, me and dying, coming back, dying, coming back, dying, coming back. So on and so forth. She was, it must have been hard. I was like, I met somebody, and when I died, she was like, huh, death. nice person. He's just eating like it's casual, which Inko's shocked by this. Like, she's kind of terrified, but, I mean, if it happened, it happened, so she ain't gonna deny it. So yeah, I mean, this school was, surprised about his death. And as soon as they heard he was alive, a lot of people were happy, which are all the jerks that kept on bullying him. And call him useless and all that, so no. So anyways. So Izuku, though, decides to go out during this night after coming back. He's not gonna just let Al have his fun in Japan. Well, he can do it too. He has to get his experience in fighting. A lot more experience in fighting, hand-to-hand combat, and trying to not rely on his suit and chains. So he's gonna have to try to make his own weapons. And Izuku does have his own arsenal of weapons. It is held not within the suit itself, which was one of the things, Mabuja, or Bujo, whatever, made the suit have its own capabilities. And, the reason why they focused more on magic, higher advance than Al could have done because of Izuku had a natural talent for adapting to different things. So, he has a lot more power than Al in magic, not combat or experience. Like I said, he did fight Hellspawns, but it was just for sparring purposes, not killing. So yeah, so Deku is running around the rooftops of the place. He jumps, he does have like his cape out, but for a while, then he turns into like a red jacket around him. And he just starts running until hears a basically a girl screaming out for help. As he just runs to the where the sound is, as he sees a family of three being attacked by a mugger. As he takes off the jacket, basically turns into you know, the cloak. As he jumps down, as the cloak, basically make him descend slowly down, and then boom. And well, is everyone just sees the blue glowing eyes in the darkness as he's just walking towards him. As the guy's saying, "Yeah, give it all your money," and well, maybe as he looks at this man's wife, as this guy has a grin, as everyone's afraid, and so is the girl, which is the same age as Zuko. As in, he basically hears, "Hey, let them go, you jerk." As basically, Izuku kind of took the Al personality along with his voice going deeper because he was turned to a Hellspawn. So, I mean, hey, just give an excuse. But he does act like a normal Zuko. So the guy turns around as he just sees Deku grab him by the shirt and throw him to the side. And basically, well, what happens is, as he turns the cape, goes into his hand and turns into a whip and basically wraps around the guy's neck and electrocutes him at a knockout voltage. By that I mean a voltage that knocks him out, in which it turns back into a cape, and he looks at the family. He just says, "Call the cops and get out of here." That's all. As this girl asks, "Wait, who are you?" Basically he just says, it's the 13-year-old girl. He goes, "The name's Spawn." He just jumps up in the air, but they look like it's flying. But no, he's able to just jump up and the cape helps. And boom, he gets over and just goes on his day. The whole entire reason why this person did not die because he was a simple mugger and he didn't really, kill anyone. It's just, he did hurt the innocent, but that was it. He could sense how much evil was coming off of him, and it was very little. Izuku was only going after the big the big ones, the big crime bosses, and everything. And that's what he does during this night. He finds a lot of people that have hurt a lot of his people, in which, well, they die and they turn very, very gruesome deaths. One has no head, no heart, and another one's burned and hanged. Other one's just ripped apart. So yeah, and Al sees Izuku's work, and he's just doing it so casually, like it's nothing. But Al knows this kid's is trying to, because these people have done so much. Al knows they have killed, they have taken, they have made sure these people that they have hurt suffer even greater parts of their lives taken away and gone. So he did not suspect Izuku he was surprised when he let that one mugger go, but then after going and fighting all the others, Al thought he wasn't ready for this, at all. He thought the kid was gonna, need training, and I was gonna actually come and train him for the next 2 months. I mean, for this month and the next one on this. But no, Deku just did it so casually. That's the thing. Izuku was already dead on the inside. He wanted to do this to Bakugo, but just hurt him enough to show him how it felt. How it felt to be weak, pathetic. How to be, how to feel like him. And he pities these people, though. He pities the people he kills because he wonders what life did they have to live to become such horrible people. And that's the difference that Al, did not even suspect. He pities them and wonders. And so after that, Izuku basically goes back to school. No one looks at Izuku, even talks to him. He has this look of basically, you try to do anything to me, I ain't gonna care. No more. I ain't stopping. I ain't gonna listen to your BS. I'm doing what I want. And that's it. Bakugo does not go to school at all. He's He's in therapy. He's in therapy, I'm not gonna lie. Which the teacher's there, and he goes, Izuku, please, he goes, take your seat. And he's, yeah, whatever, teach. What a rotten day. And all that. So, let's just say, though, before that, like, during lunch, Izuku had his food, and Bakugo's goons came over, and they just laughed. It doesn't matter if, Bakugo ain't here. We don't care if you actually died or not. So, since Bakugo's not here, one of them cracks his knuckles, saying, we're just gonna, do his job for him. As a girl, basically a girl, in their class, just say stop, leave him alone. He died yesterday, we don't know what's gonna happen if you do anything. In which Izuku just looks at both these guys and just say, listen to her. But instead of worrying about me, girl, worry about them. As he goes, huh? And Izuku just uppercuts one of them, sending him flying, and then he immediately goes for a palm strike right into the other guy's jaw. This is what Al taught him though in the hand-to-hand combat, even though he's not proficient in it. No, he's gonna learn from other people. So yeah, and this caught everyone off guard. And well, the teachers were not there. So Deku just took up the chair and then smacked the guy before he even got up in the face, and then threw the chair at the other guy that's getting up. In which, well, instant KOs. Not gonna lie, they were really weak. So he goes, grabs his chair, puts it back, and just continued eating his food. A girl though, the girl that he saved was passing the class. She, heard what happened. She heard the commotion, and then she opens up to see Deku just sitting down. She runs over to the guys that were not, basically bloody nose and, lips. She asks what happened. Deku just shrugs like, I don't know. Does anyone know? They all say no. He's like, alright. But the guy said, it was you. The one he basically uppercutted. He goes, how can I do that? I'm corkless. In which he was, you jerk. Stop acting like you're not. You have to activate your quirk, or you have to hit in it. Tell me. Because he's acting like Bakugo. In which, this girl just tells him to go to the nurse office and grab your friend, and that's what he does. So the girl, looking at Izuku with a smile on his face, just saying, you're not a very good liar. He was like, wasn't lying. I didn't know what happened. 1 minute they're just talking BS, and the next minute they're not. They're just there on the ground whimpering like dogs. That's all. So she sighs and basically she goes, what's your name? He goes, Izuku Midoriya. You? She just calls herself you. Why you, basically. Yui? I think it's Yui. Maybe I don't know, it's Mount Lady's name. So, yeah. Mount Lady in this one is a teenager. Here's a funny thing. She was going to be in Class 1A. She was. The only thing, though, they changed it. So, yeah. They changed it to being where she's not. And Kamui Woods isn't being there. So, anyways. He's saying he recognizes her and says it's a pleasure to meet you. She says likewise. Just no do that again. He goes, ain't gonna try. They pick a fight with me, I'm gonna end it. And she knows his voice changed. She goes, what happened to the, deeper tone voice? He goes, that's just an act. Truthfully, this is my real voice. I'm just not want to have anyone see I'm weak. All these, D heads, D bags, can just all go, disappear for all I care. As everyone's surprised he cursed in his classroom. And the teacher heard that. He's like, Izuku, He's like, shut it, Teach. He's like, right. So yeah. So Mew chuckled. I mean, not Mew. You chuckled at this, and well, they became friends. Um, so Bakugo does still apply to UA and such. He's just still not in school. So and Spawn, or should I say Al, trained Izuku a lot more since they're in the real world. But not it was still only on magic, gunfire, and how to fight with weapons. Basically, that's it. He says he's gonna have to learn fighting on it with his hands on his own and such. But he did a pretty good job on the kills he did last night. Surprisingly, Deku just shrugged and was like it was easy. So we're gonna be doing this for until you're gone, which he nods. Sorry, I'm trying to hiccup. So that month plus this until the second end of the month, Al and him have done this. You and Deku have basically Deku and Al have gone out killing. Izuku and you have gone closer together. So what happens is the last day of middle school happens. Al already said goodbye and everything. So yeah. So the last day of middle school goes to canon. Besides, everyone does say Izuku can go to UA now since go to UA now. They believe in him because of his actions. He has became the people who come and fight him always go to the nurse's office with at least a broken finger or two, even a jaw. Sometimes not a jaw, like even like a black eye. It's just he's going easy on them because he doesn't want to go out and kill. Also, you asked him not to, so yeah. So anyways, so what happens is, so everything goes to canon, besides Bakugo being there, and the whole entire speech, and, so that's not there. The sludge villain does not happen with Izuku. It happens with you instead. Like, not the first one, the second one. So yeah, so anyways, Deku and you separated, and he's going to the area where the sludge villain would have took a hostage and everything, because he has to go get some items in that area. So what happens is this: after he was in the store for a couple minutes, say like 20 minutes, just to find the book. Since he's thinking this, since he can create stuff with his energy, he can probably even create materials to make weapons out of. Like, he can learn how to forge them, and then transfer some energy into it to make actual weapons, physical. Because he's more of a knife and sword, daggers and knives and swords type of person. So yeah. So anyways. He comes out of the area, and he hears rustling and from a crowd that's outside, saying like pro heroes are here. They had a hostage. The villain has a hostage and everything. If you're wondering, was All Might captured the villain? Yes, he did. He lost it because of he was losing time. So yeah, so Izuku basically seeing you in danger, and he's just mad. His anger, his hatred towards this guy, is hurting his friend. He wants to jump in and transform, but he can't. So he runs to an alleyway. He puts his stuff down. No, he runs to the alleyway and transforms and then jumps, with the chains coming out to basically the roof and pulling him to it. And he then goes up onto the, leaving his stuff there, and then looks up down and seeing the sludge villain. He goes, this guy doesn't even have that much negative emotions or even sin on him. Can't. I mean, I have enough energy. In which, well, Mabujo, since Izuku has been doing such a good job on, well, not killing, I mean, like, getting control of his power, he does have a little device in it on his suit that Mabujo thought, hey, why not have it where he can see how much time he has with his power, how much energy he has. And he does see it. And then, like, even see how much negativity he has so that it can be replenished. So he goes, that's more than I thought I had. Well, it's a good thing my negativity I always have inside of me, it's always replenishing me. It's permanent. Once depressed and, well, wanted to die, always. So, yeah. He just jumps right off the building. Lands, like, everyone sees just blood, like, a red, like, cloak come out of nowhere, lands on the ground as he just points to the villain saying, let go of her, and I won't hurt you too badly. As the sludge villain laughs and says, I'm a sludge, nothing can hurt me. In which there's no fire, but Deku doesn't care. He knows how to handle this. So he just says, alright then, the hard way then. As he just throws a chain to go all the way to, go around you. And he just laughs and goes like, you missed me. He goes, did I? And then he rips, you out of him, catching her in his hands, and then basically touching the ground, sending out his energy into the earth, and then it claws around, the sludge villain, trapping him into a ball, compressed one. Basically, it's like a medium-sized ball, like a softball. He goes like, well, looks like he can handle this. And it is and basically the sludge villain can't do anything since he doesn't have any super strength. So he puts down you. He basically looks at the heroes, and they're running over him. He just jumps up into the air, right onto the building, runs over, grabs his stuff, and just starts dashing in the opposite direction of his house. And then since he had a year in hell, he doesn't have a lot of stuff he can transform. Like I said, he can make stuff basically like that. Like, okay, say from the Spawn movie, that's everyone doesn't. Some people like, some people don't. Where he can basically manipulate the cave and turn it into spikes. Yeah, he could do that. He can then basically make an axe or swords and stuff. Like I said, he can also do camouflage and a little bit of flying, plus teleportation. He can even go, well, not yet, in between heaven and hell. He can't do that yet. But yeah, he can teleport at least to the places he knows. So, when he gets enough far away distance from anywhere, he jumps off of a building, which heroes are there waiting for him like Endeavor. He was like, ha, we got you, vigilante. No, not like that. He says, we have you now, vigilante. So run, as in flames teleports. And it's like, what? What just happened? So yeah, he lands in front of his house and deactivates the suit. He goes, nice. He opens up the door. His mom looks at him and she goes, did you just... He goes, yeah, I saved my friend. Have a problem? She goes, no, it's just you know a lot more about how to use it than I thought. He goes, yeah, I'm full of surprises. So yeah. So after that, you texts him telling her how this guy and Blue Eyes came out and saved her again. He goes, again? And he goes, yeah, he saved my parents and me, from a mugger. And before he can even get an idea to do anything to my mom. So yeah. In which he goes, so that's why she looked so familiar. I thought she was her. It was her, was the girl I saved. Yeah, ironic. So yeah, so basically, they train together. She's working on, her quirk on making at least some body parts of her, grow big before she goes to her actual size, but she needs her costume to do it. So, Yeah, so that's not gonna be like the 10 months of training, but well, Izuku and her do physical portion. He learns like he takes at least a class in karate and judo and kickboxing just to try to find what he's good at. Yu does exactly the same thing. They even work out together, and well, during the 5th month, Izuku sees Yu arguing when they're meeting up to hang out. She's arguing with somebody, just telling him to stay away from me. I don't love you no more. How many times do I have to say this? And he goes, come on, Yu. I know you still love me. I mean, we've done so much together. She goes, yeah. And then you went up and cheated on me, basically. How nice was it to be with someone for 3 years since basically elementary school? Not 3 years. 2 years. It was elementary, basically, it's before 7th grade, so 6th, 7th, and 8th is when they broke up, so like in the middle of 8th grade. So, yeah, cheated on me with a girl that was technically my best friend at the time. He goes, look, I'm sorry, please, come on, let's get back together. I miss you. And, she goes, no, leave me alone. As in he's basically the type who's obsessive. He just holds on to her, like, no, come on, let me buy you some lunch. She goes, no, she's like, looks a little bit like annoyed, but also like afraid because it's like he's not letting go, and she goes, let go of me. And Zuko basically gets there. He goes, hey, leave my friend alone. And he goes, who are you? He's like, it doesn't matter who I am. All that matters is let go, and we won't have a problem. You got it? And he's like, you think you're better than me? He was like, not another one. And then he just Spartan kicks him into a freaking, like, they were right near like near an alleyway. As he just Spartan kicks him in there, and then he goes, you okay, you? She goes, yeah, come on, let's just go. As she grabs his hand, just runs. So this guy basically gets up. He goes, that guy. If I see him in UA or anywhere, I'm gonna make sure I hurt him. So yeah, that happens. So you and him, stop running. They're near the movies like they wanted to go to, and he asks who is he. She just says an obsessive ex-boyfriend. That's all, and they hang out. They finish it. So, okay. So I'm gonna pause this. I'll come back to when I am done working. So yeah, hold on. All right, I'm back, everyone. Sorry, I'm outside right now, just walking to a pizza place. Anyways, I don't work. So yeah. So anyways, yeah, I remember you telling me about the X, obsessive X. So yeah. Anyways, let's just say after the movie's done, he drops off you. He starts walking home, and he's in the middle, not of like the city. It's getting night out, so he starts hearing someone screaming out for help, but it sounds like a male voice. Excuse me, hold on. Alright, everyone, I'm basically back home. So, as I was saying, as basically our boy Deku hears a scream that sounds like a, man. He follows the sound of it, and what he sees is just teenagers just picking on a homeless guy. So, what Deku does is simple. He goes into the spawn form, and, well, while they're picking on him, the old man's not putting up in any of a fight, as Deku just basically says in a voice that scares one of them, saying, hey, deeper voice that sounds like he's been burned by fire. As the guy says, what? As the other guy, his friend, is just saying, hey, what's wrong? As then all of a sudden, chains goes around both of them. He pulls them to him. Turn the other guy around to see his mask, and basically, he absorbs their negative emotion, at least get a little bit of, fear added to him, and all that. So that way, he has a little extra power if he ever needs to. And he just says, if you ever come here again and pick on the, homeless, because he knows this area very well, and he always comes here to check on people, see if anyone's like hurt or not, and tries to help them out any way possible. Even on, and they know about his look. He told them. Well, I mean, he showed them because he wanted them to not like think he's just like any other kid. So this is a guy he knows, and hold on, I'll be right back. Alright, sorry, but anyways, as as I was saying, he comes by and helps out the homeless. Seems they're okay and everything else. So yeah, so basically, one of the guys saying, "All right, man, all right, we'll come back. We're sorry." He just drops them. They leave. So Deku, keeps the suit on, helps this guy up, and he goes, "Thanks, kid. You're always coming by and making sure we're all right. Hey, if you ever need, anywhere to crash, if anything happens, you're welcome here. All right." And Deku nods and basically goes for the rooftops. And yeah, well, Izuku knows his activities and his acknowledgement have been known because of his. They think he's a vigilante since he saved somebody. They don't know about him being the one doing all the killing. So yeah. So his activities have been known. Heroes have been keeping an eye out for him. But he always makes sure to never go the same route to his house. At least always go invisible and then just disappear. If anyone's following him or not. So yeah. So anyways, I was gonna have something else. So yeah. So this was the 5th million. Yeah. Yeah. So 2 months pass. 2 more months pass. So the 7th month, and he gets a call. Well, not call, telepathic connection to. I need to look up the name. Melbukia, telling him, "It's time, kid. Come on." And basically he goes, right. So he goes to an abandoned warehouse where Melbukia tells him, as well, he sees the fat clown himself, the Violator, as he goes, well, it looks like I'm about to see if the new Sprout is strong enough to take me on. I mean, the boss has been, praising you on your actions. I don't see the reason why. You're some little kid that was crying saying he died. As, this clown's just mocking him. As Deku just says, if you don't shut it, I'll put something where the sun doesn't shine. And make sure it comes out the other end. As he goes, oh, nice. He goes, creep. He goes, I'm a demon. What do you expect? I mean, a little decency. Unless of a fat, short, fat form. He's like, he's like, I'm gonna enjoy ripping you to shreds. He's like, come on, try. As then he gets on his suit. As the demon, the clown takes on his true form. And, as they duke it out, Izuku runs towards the Violator. As the Violator, tries to slash at Deku, he ducks. He uses the chains to wrap around him, wrap around the body of it. As then he makes a sword as he slices it off one of his arms. As the Violator screams out in pain, and then basically, Deku just grabs his face. As then he focuses all the energy to form a fireball right into the, right in his eyes, burning them, so he's having a hard time seeing. As he's screaming up and he's saying, "How are you like this?" And Deku just says, "Easy. I don't ever freaking stop training, nor do I ever stop fighting scum like you." As he jumps in the air, and what he does is he wraps around his cloak around him to then basically turns into a spike ball, crushing the Violator, not killing him. As Deku basically just looking at him as he jumps up and He using the cape to touch the ground, and then he brings up his hand, making multiple earth spikes stab into the Violator. Making sure he does not move. As when Deku just lands on him, he basically burns his chest open to get to his heart, and then he just makes a knife and stabs the Violator with it. And he goes, "Go to hell." As he does cut. He basically shoves the knife deeper into it, and basically just overkilling it. As basically Melbukia just telling him, "Good, good." As the Violator is going back to hell, but he gets imbued with the hellfire, making his suit stronger now. And so, Deku, basically, the Heaven did talk to, Al Simmons about it, and he just says, we're gonna test him and he can be used as a great ally if needed. Alright? As they understand, so they're setting up tests for Izuku, plans for him, plans in the future, as unknown forces are, in work, as Izuku doesn't really think he should become a hero. It's not because of the killings, because of, it just seems like the hero school wouldn't do nothing, as he is in the costume, as he's running on the rooftops again, as when he's about to jump onto a rooftop, he sees a girl running. This one has a black ponytail, and is running from these guys with guns and saying, "Get her!" As he can sense the fear on her and negativity from these guys, as he says he needs to replenish anyways. So the vile evil coming off of them. So basically, he just jumps. Oh, that's my phone. Hold on. Alright, sorry about that. But anyways, as he basically, like I said, jumped down, but he basically has daggers on him. This is what he can make the weapons, but he had learned how. He just bought these. Basically he was able to he found some guys with knives and on them, and daggers and such. And then he just throws them at these guys, hitting them in the legs. As he comes down and punches one of them, sending him flying to another guy. He wraps the chains around the one that he hit in the leg. Basically, he just throws it towards another one. And basically, he just does jump as he wraps the chain around all of them, basically hanging them up. And then all of a sudden, he brings fire onto the chain itself. Basically killing these guys. As Momo, I was gonna say when I said black hair ponytail. Yeah. Basically, the boy looks and he goes, "Wait, isn't that Momo Yaozu?" And my phone had to be resetted. Alright, sorry. But so basically, Momo gets up and she goes, Are you? He goes, "I'm not a villain. Nor am I, a hero. Well, I'm an anti-hero, you can call me. But hey, if I didn't do this, they would come after you anyways. So look, pretend you never saw me. I don't want the public knowing I'm doing this crud. They don't suspect me in my activities at night, like this. So look, if you do that, that'd be a big help. Anyways, see ya." As he just disappears, teleports away. So yeah, Momo's bodyguard rushes over, asks her if she's okay. He does see the body hanging though. He's like, "Oh my god, no, someone, I don't know who it was. Someone just comes and saved me." And yeah, so after that, people have, been spreading the rumor about some guy with blue eyes and red cape going around. He's always, there. Nezu has been wondering about this person. It's very, suspicious that someone has come around and seems like he has multiple things that he can do. And he doesn't think it's all for one. But it's just kind of strange. He does remember a story back many centuries ago about a warrior that, could do some stuff similar, or the same outfit, but blue eyes. Those are different. As he's kind of slowly putting together that this may be the same or a descendant of him, Spawn. Well, if it is so, then we'll have a great hero on our hands. Because if so, that means the forces are coming back. The supernatural that have been hidden for so long. And basically, Eraserhead comes in and he says, "Yeah, sorry for overhearing that. That is true. Ever since, well, that guy Spawn disappeared, he always comes back every 20 years. So, as soon as he leaves, a new guy comes in. Do you think it's his student, or do you think it's a guy just copying him?" Nezu just says, "Nope, probably a student, most likely of his. He doesn't kill every criminal. If they're like low lives, the worst of the worst, yes. He has killed many gang members and gang leaders, but if it's like kids that are just doing it because of, well, they think it's fun, then he will spare them, along with people who are just trying to survive. He judges them by what they have done. It's like he watches them, where he can see their memories." Well, Aizawa just says, "Well, anyways, we should put on an announcement that Spawn, as we should call him, should just come to UA in his actual hero outfit, since it'll be just a lot more easier, and we don't have to worry about this crud. I mean, he kills people, so what? All might try to kill all for one. And we would still praise him as the #1 hero," as Nezu agrees. So yeah. So they announced that if the Spawn person is coming to UA, he is allowed to, well, do what he does still, at night. Because the streets have been saved, which everyone's confused. Why would UA do this? As they, clarify that all heroes at night are not everywhere, but he is always finishing the job, making sure people like that don't come back on the streets again. It's unfortunate, but in reality, it's kind of needed. Because, well, this world is full of people with quirks, and they abuse the power sometimes. And, well, Deku knows about heroes too, so it's like, hey, he knows about false heroes. If they do say, if it's basically him doing this activity, he's still allowed to come out to UA. We don't know if the vigilante Spawn is the one who's killing. All we know is someone's out there killing villains, criminals, the worst of the worst that we cannot say. If it's this new vigilante, then we still welcome him with open arms to prevent him from killing, to at least subdue, his prisoners and see what they have done and then kill them, by him being the actual executioner if it's the death sentence, for them. Nezu tries to explain how about this may be the ancient hero Spawn that always comes every 20 years, like descendant or student, so we cannot blame him then. So yeah, which the media doesn't believe, but they just think, hey, they're just trying to get the kid to show up, and that way they can arrest him for doing vigilante work. So that's how everyone's taking it, which not really true. But hey, yeah. So Izuku doesn't go with his costume yet. So yeah, I mean, no one even knows about him, besides the blue eyes. That's it. That's all anyone knows. So it's like, they don't know his costume look. He doesn't know how the outfit, what happens. He's always making sure to kind of change people's memories around a little bit to never see his actual costume. So yeah. But Nezu's happened to, has the security system, so that's how he knows. But anyways, so the day of the actual exam. Wait, no. The day before the actual exam. 2 days actually. Inko comes up to Izuku, to Deku, and saying she knows. And he goes, "Huh? What do you mean?" She knows who he is and what he's done. He goes, "Mom, what do you mean?" She goes, "I know you're the vigilante. Um, you know, because of the costume, yeah. But I know that you have killed people." He's like, "Mom, I mean, that's absurd. It's she. Well, she just says, I saw you coming back home with how can I say this? With blood on your suit before you clean, you know, and then before you turned it back to being inside your skin and all. I saw you kill someone too." It's like when she goes, "Well, 3 nights ago, there was a mugger, mugging Mitsuki, and I was about to run in there when the guy when someone with chains came out of nowhere, ripped the guys up to him, as then the mugger though was, well, I thought was, but as soon as I looked at Mitsuki, I knew it was about to happen. Yeah, she was about to be R, but whatever. And you killed him. The blue eyes, the cape, the chains. I knew it was you. You just left immediately after he died. So, as Deku sighs and goes, "What? Police?" She goes, "No, just don't get caught, please." And that's it. They still act like a normal mother son, and that's all. Like, she just told him she knows and she understands why he's doing it. So, but she does ask about he's gonna get killed or all. He just says, "Only way to kill me is holy weapons or decapitation." I'll basically be able to heal from almost anything besides, well, holy weapons and decapitation with a holy weapon. She goes, "Oh, alright, so that's it." The USJ, he has studied along with you. You basically never telling him about the ex-boyfriend has been not has been not well has been leaving her alone, but he has not been getting in contact with her. But until the not the sports till the UA exam. So he Deku gets a top score. You get second place. Bakugo is there. Um, Deku never tripped. Bakugo gets fourth place. No, third place. So yeah. And so what happens is, um, well, oh yeah, I did forget. Momo was the only one who's able to remember Zuko's outfit. So yeah, he doesn't really care though. It's not that they can stop him anyways. But yeah, so anyways, so basically, Izuku passed with flying colors, like I said, 100% per score. Then the whole entire talk about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 0 pointers. You know, Zuku, well, doesn't care. Ida just makes his comments, and then he just tells him to shut it. That's it. Like, that's all he needs to do. Ida does because of this him glaring. Bakugo has not been talking to at all because he still has trauma. Like, it's still in his head. Messed up. So yeah. So Izuku waiting for the everyone to say go. Um, he just looks. He goes, I'm not gonna wait. So before President Mike even said anything, Izuku just goes over the whole entire gate and lands. Basically, he jumps right over the gate, lands, and everyone says that's cheating. And basically, President Mike says, "Nope, there's no countdown in a villain fight." And yeah, that's what happens. Izuku basically just ripping through robots. Heck, even just kicking one robot, grabbing a piece of metal, and smacking into the other one, using it as a weapon, basically. And the clothing he's just wearing is just casual clothing. So yeah. And he's not even caring if he gets ruined. So that's all that he's doing. He's just breaking robots. Yu is also doing exactly the same thing. She grows big and she just stomps on the robots. She doesn't grow too big to be like the same size as she is in canon, but she's at least top, to be on the floor. Oh, so that's it. And she basically found some clothing that would, well, wait, no, she based that wouldn't work because the clothing were ripped then. So no. So basically, you just grew out her hands and break stuff. So yeah. Anyways, couple of like minutes pass. Nezu's putting pieces together on who this person could be that had the had the blue eyes, and that's basically the cloak and all that, the cape. I mean, so yeah. So he brings up the zero pointer. Izuku has like over 400 points. He broke All Might's record. All Might was shot. Successor, someone else. I don't know. Leave in the comments. So yeah. And well, what happens next is he does go. You does get trapped. Izuku runs over as soon as he basically when he heard her because he was there when everyone was running away. He was about to like run in until he seen you. He basically bolted at full speed over to her, basically shoved the rubble to the side, picked her up, leaved, and then all of a sudden, with a little flick of his finger though, like he basically made like he must think kind of like a little like dot explosion. Energy goes over to the robot, and what happens is, as soon as it hits the chest, it explodes, but it destroys the whole top of the robot. Dead instantly, destroyed, as no one knows what happened. Who did it? No one can understand how it happened like that. But Nezu, basically trying to do slow motion. He sees it was coming off of like it came from where Zuko and Yu was, but he doesn't know who, because it hand was away from the camera. So yeah. So but Zuko did get some points for rescuing Mew, and that's it. So anyways, after that, you and him leaving, and oh my god, Kamui Woods, basically, who I don't know the name, his actual name, basically, kind of stalking. Yeah, kind of stalking. And Zuko knows it, so he grabs her and, well, they go to an alleyway, and, well, basically he just jumps onto the side of the building. He also healed Yu's leg, so yeah. And when they get up to the roof, he's like, "What the? Where did it go?" And so he's just checking everywhere. He just carrying a bridal style, jumps off the building, lands, and they walk away. He drops her off. He goes home. He just rests for the night, and that's it. Have you guys? Oh wait. Also, he did get the letter in 7 days ago. He did stop doing the killing thing. Well, not really. He didn't stop doing the killing thing. He has to do it because one, if he doesn't, people are gonna basically die. But hey, I mean, he's not killing them. He's just capturing them now. He does break their bones severely badly. That's it. So yeah. 7 days. Letter comes in. He passed. They say, "Welcome to my hero, to your Hero Academia." And that's it, everyone. Hope you guys have a nice day, night, wherever you are, and bye.